and disgusting that this Prime Minister keeps using the pandemic as an excuse for his corruption. The very first act that this Prime Minister did when the pandemic hit was try to give himself unprecedented power and eliminate the role of the opposition in Parliament. And now we know why, Mr. Speaker, because when they're pushing $300 billion worth of deficit out the door, they will stop and take the time to reward their friends. That is the essence of this Liberal Party under this Liberal Prime Minister. I don't even have a question, Mr. Speaker. It's just disgusting.
One would think that when a House of Commons is about to pass legislation worth over $50 billion to help businesses with an extension of the wage subsidy, that there might be a question from the opposition on that or on anything they want to bring forward. The fact of the matter is we remain focused on giving Canadians the support they need to get through this challenging pandemic. We will look creatively, we will look carefully at different ways of supporting students and elders, and we will keep doing that, Mr. Speaker, for all Canadians.
On the funding agreement, it's backdated to May 5th. Did you tell either of the Kielburgers or anybody at WE that they could start incurring expenses as of the 5th of May?
Been very generous with your time up until now, and I would ask that you respect that. It is up to the minister to answer the questions how she wishes to do so, and it is up to you to cut her off if you are classy.
Next issue here. You were aware that the Prime Minister withdrew your proposal from the Cabinet meeting on May the 8th, yes or no?
I thought he only did that to us.
Mr. Gerritsen, the floor is yours for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Minister, you were on the receiving end of a fairly hostile accusation there by Mr. Poilievre. Would you like the opportunity to respond to that, Minister?
Madam Chair, that was a lengthy question, but I'll provide a short answer, not that I'm aware of.
Hey, that's something everyone can enjoy.
Hey gang, what's up? Aaron right here, Canadian Looney, wearing my David Menzies hat. Everybody should have one. Have a great day.
Oh, yeah.
We will begin with our 6-minute round. And Mr. Barrett, the floor is yours to begin.
Thank you, Minister. We just heard testimony from the clerk of the Privy Council that you were given authority to sign as a minister for ESDC by order in council. Can you tell us on what date that OIC was issued?
I recall the OIC being issued in March to give me jurisdiction within the departments within ESDC as well as Canadian Heritage that fall under my mandate as Minister of Diversity and Inclusion in Youth in March.
Minister, have you, with the exception of the CSSG contribution agreement, have you used that signing authority as allowed by that OIC for any other program?
So, Madam Chair, through my responsibilities, I also have 3 secretariats within Canadian Heritage. Numerous grants and contributions have been awarded through multiculturalism and others. I can refer to my deputy if we would like any concrete examples.
No, not for those, Minister, thank you. But with respect to ESDC, which was my question, have you used it with respect to ESDC?
I just want to make sure that I do provide all information. I know that the Canada Service Corps is under my responsibilities. So then when it comes, I just don't know if any have been renewed since I became minister in 2019. I can get back to the committee if you would like.
I appreciate that. How much money did the Government of Canada pay to the WE organization for the CSSG? We've heard a lot of different numbers, so looking for the final number.
So we announced $9 billion of programs for students on April 22nd. When it comes to the Canada Student Service Grant, the contribution agreement was, I believe, $543 million in the contribution agreement. As documents have been requested, they have been provided to committee members at Finance. We can ensure that they are available.
Okay, and how much specifically was flowed, not theorized, but how much was actually flowed from the Government of Canada to the WE organization?
I can refer to refer to the contribution agreement as to the first cohort, the supplemental cohort, and the second cohort. So I cannot tell you how much was flowed. What we do know is that the program is no longer running, and the money, as the organization has referred to, will be returned to the government.
Why hasn't the money been returned to this point? It seems odd. It's been quite some time since the program was canceled, or that they withdrew following the Prime Minister's announcement that he failed to recuse himself. What's the holdup?
So I think, Madam Chair, as I've been trying to share within testimony and any of my communications, we want to ensure that all processes are being followed. So I can assure you that the public service is working with the organization to ensure that it is returned. If you would like, I can refer to my deputy to provide and elaborate on this answer.
No, if you can get back to the committee, though, with that information, it would be very much appreciated. My next question, Minister, is with respect to your communication between you speaking with any member of the Finance Minister's staff or in their office or any Finance Canada officials between April 5th and April 22nd concerning We Charity, the Kielburgers, support for students, and how we could provide support for students. The We organization could provide support for students.
Madam Chair, as I testified at Finance Committee, within the time frame that the member has requested, I personally did not have those conversations with officials at Finance Canada.
So at the Finance Committee, I had the opportunity to ask you some questions, Minister, and there was a disparity between my question to you and your response. I asked if you had spoken with the We organization about the CSSG, and you responded, no, you hadn't, but you had spoken to them, we later learned, in the time period in question. I believe the date was April the 17th. So do you have any, from that call, I guess, what details did you discuss with this organization? Was it about anything that would later appear in the proposal for the CSSG?
Madam Chair, so just to make sure that it is on the record, on December 10th, 2020, I appeared at We Day in Ottawa after I had become Minister of Youth, and that was to talk to an auditorium full of youth at the National Arts Centre. And the second time I interacted with We Charity, Craig Kielburger personally, was over the phone on April 17th, 2020. I had a phone call with him as well as another member of his team at 11 a.m. in the morning. That phone call lasted just over 30 minutes, and we spoke about an unsolicited program in regards to youth entrepreneurship, social entrepreneurship, and something that had been shared. As it was not something that I was considering, I referred it to officials. That phone call on April 17th was not in regards to the Canada Student Service Grant at all. I did not comment on that.
I'm tight for time. Thank you, Minister. Your signature is on the...
Thank you. Mr. Barrett, 10 seconds.
Your signature is on the funding agreement. It's backdated to May 5th. Did you tell either of the Kielburgers or anybody at We that they could start incurring expenses as of the 5th of May?
At the recommendation of the public service that it was the only organization that could deliver the program, I did, after a lot of back and forth, sign the contribution agreement. No, I did not personally have those conversations with the organization.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Poilievre, the floor is yours for 5 minutes.
Did the word volunteer ever get spoken in your 30-minute meeting with Mr. Kielburger?
Madam Chair, off the top of my head, it was more of a listening exercise.
No, was it spoken? Yes or no?
Not that I'm aware of.
Were you there?
I can't say that I said it. I was there.
Did someone else say it?
Madam Chair, I recall, and this is a lengthier answer, but I recall the conversation in regards to them advancing and sharing their unsolicited proposal.
Right. No, that's not my question. My question is about whether the word volunteer was spoken. Was youth service mentioned?
I will tell you that youth service is top of line for myself.
Okay, so that's
we
a
brought
yes?
through the Canada Service Corps in 2018.
Yes or no?
Madam Chair, I think it's important that since I
Yes or no?
wanting to provide accurate information, that I provide all information that I have.
Minister, thank you. I do understand that, but the question has been asked of you is quite simple. It is really a yes or no question, and so you need to respect the member who is asking you that question and answer accordingly. Thank you. Minister, yes or no?
I would say service opportunities, yes, was said.
Okay, good. Now we're getting somewhere. This was just 5 days before the Canada Student Service Grant was announced and given its name. And of course, that grant wasn't mentioned because it wasn't created at the time of your meeting. But did you speak about anything at all, other than the Kielburgers social entrepreneurship proposal? Anything at all? Yes or no?
I would have definitely asked how the youth that they were working with, how they were doing in the face of the pandemic.
Did you tell? Did the Kielburgers know that the Prime Minister would make an announcement only days later on April 22nd regarding youth programming?
I cannot speak to the Kielburgers. I personally did not know on April 17th that the Prime Minister would be making that announcement.
Okay, so you didn't know, even though you're the minister responsible for that announcement. Strange. How many staff attended that meeting with you and the Kielburgers?
Madam Chair, for clarification, from my team, is he referring to?
Yes.
Or from the? I was the only person on the phone call for my team because it was in regards to
any
an
officials?
unsolicited proposal.
Any officials?
For my team, no.
So it was just a phone call? 2 people?
From my team, it was myself. From the We organization, it was Craig Kielburger, and I believe Sophia was on the phone with us.
Did anybody?
They would know if there was other people from their side. It was a phone number they provided for me to dial into.
Thank you. Anyone in the PMO or the Finance Minister's office aware that you were having this phone call?
Not that I'm aware of, but I can check into that information and share it with the committee.
Did you take any notes?
Madam Chair, from that phone call, it was in regards to the unsolicited social
No, that wasn't my
program.
question. Did you take notes, yes or no? Did you take notes?
I was provided a briefing note, which has been shared.
Did you? Okay, did you take notes on your phone call? Yes or no? For the 4th time.
Everything I received was in line with.
No, did you take notes with your own hand? That was the question. It's a simple question. Yes or no?
The only note I would have taken would have been to ask the team to follow up with colleagues' offices in regards to the proposal and officials.
But that's strange because a moment ago you said by the time you did this phone call or finished it, you were not interested in that proposal. So now you were must have been a different proposal that you were following up on.
Madam Chair, the member can choose to put words in my mouth. It would not be his first time.
They're your words.
A repetitive behavior. So I will say that
let's not get distracted here.
Something that I was not considering, but it's important for the team and also for officials to be aware of it.
Okay.
And to make sure that they look and consider
all
its
right.
merits.
So you decided that you weren't going to pursue that proposal, yet you wrote notes to your staff and officials to follow up on that proposal. Okay, very clear.
So
we're going to move on to another question now.
Madam Chair.
I'm on to my question. I didn't ask a question yet, so she's had plenty of chances to respond, and that's.
You put words in my mouth.
So
very classy.
Next issue here. You were aware that the Prime Minister withdrew your proposal from the cabinet meeting on May the 8th. Yes or no?
The Prime Minister testified and shared that information.
And the We organization had already begun implementing the Canada Summer Student Service Grant on the 5th, 3 days earlier. So did you instruct anybody to immediately call We and say, stop, the Prime Minister has pushed back and that this program is not approved by Cabinet and therefore We has got to put its actions on hold? Yes or no?
Madam Chair, the Prime Minister, as he stated, actually, it was about due diligence from officials, so I would like the Deputy to have a minute to answer.
I'm sorry, Minister, we are out of time. I'm going to hand the floor over to Mr. Mr. Gerritsen.
Point of order, Madam Chair. I do think that they should have a chance to respond, if possible.
Poilievre, you're putting me in a difficult position here.
I thought he only did that to us.
Mr. Garrettson, the floor is yours for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Minister, you were on the receiving end of a fairly hostile accusation there by Mr. Poilievre. Would you like the opportunity to respond to that, Minister?
Madam Chair, I think it would be important for the deputy to be provided an opportunity to answer the accusations that are being provided by the Conservative member.
Hello. So the question was in relation to.
I will proceed with giving one question to the Conservatives and one question to the Liberals. Conservative member can go.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. The question is not about why the contribution agreement was backdated. The question is very simple. The Prime Minister claims that he put the entire WE program on hold on May the 8th. Minister Chagger, did anyone in the government at that moment direct WE to stop administering the program when the Prime Minister did that on May 8th? Yes or no?
Madam Chair, that was a lengthy question, but I'll provide a short answer, not that I'm aware of.
That's strange.
Thank you, Minister. From a Liberal member. Madam Shanahan, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Minister, for being with us here today. The Prime Minister and the Finance Minister have both apologized for not recusing themselves from the decision to enlist We Charity to deliver the Canada Student Service Grant Program. But the Clerk of the Privy Council has also testified that given the sheer scale and cost of the program, it's difficult to see how they would not have needed to be involved. What was the expectation for you as the Minister responsible for the CSSG when it came to assessing potential conflict of interest before entering into the contribution agreement with We Charity?
Madam Chair, for myself, this was part of a suite of programs. $9 billion had been allocated for students, recognizing that they were also impacted by the pandemic. When it came to this exact program, for myself, a priority was ensuring that students who need assistance the most get it. So I was concerned about official languages and making sure that the program was available for both Francophones as well as Anglophones. I want to ensure that youth and students in rural, remote areas also had access to it. I want to ensure that underrepresented communities had access to it, and that's why I want to ensure that we were collecting disaggregated data to understand where it was going, so that as we went through the contribution agreement, checks and balances were in place. And the way contribution agreements work is that they have to be able to deliver the scope and scale and timeline of the program. So this is information we would be continuously receiving before we opened up any opportunities to expand it to the second cohort. So that was some of the checks and balances that we put in place to ensure that people who need a hand up were actually getting a hand up through the programs we were advancing.
Thank you, Minister. With that, we will draw this meeting to a conclusion, and I will suspend while we switch to our next witness. Again, Minister Chagger, thank you so much for giving us your time today.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, members.
Oh, yeah.
One would think that when a House of Commons is about to pass legislation worth over $50 billion to help businesses with an extension of the wage subsidy, that there might be a question from the opposition on that or on anything they want to bring forward. The fact of the matter is we remain focused on giving Canadians the support they need to get through this challenging pandemic. We will look creatively, we will look carefully at different ways of supporting students and elders, and we will keep doing that, Mr. Speaker, for all Canadians.
Oh, yeah.
So, gang, we're going to wrap it up right there. I'm Aaron, Canadian Looney, showing Canadians what it is I'm learning about Canadian federal politics. I wasn't always an expert. Maybe I'm still not, but we're working on it and showing Canadians what it is I'm learning. I came into this I thought as a Liberal. No more, baby. Let's vote for the Conservatives. We need a change. That's it. Aaron, Canadian Looney, thank you very much for watching. Check out some of the other videos. That's it. We'll catch you in the next one. Have a great day.